Alright, how's it going, everyone? Again, this is Jose Trujillo coming to you from a corner of my art studio. And today, pow, 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 once again, I'm painting something super awesome. These are some flowers that I really like. I don't know if I pronounced them right. Hydrangeas, or hydrangeas, or anyways. Here we go. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys really like it. And if you don't, it's okay. It's okay too. Okay? So here we go. Let's do first something like a little base, okay? And I want to do one of this tubular base right here. Bam, bam. So guys, I hope you guys feel what I'm doing here. It's not that I've gotten some people to think over the years that I don't take my work serious because they're like, it's too sketchy. It's like you're sketching, you know. Yeah, because that's how I paint, you know. So I hope that you guys are able to see what my thing is, and you know, kind of like my je ne sais quoi. And if you don't, that's cool though. But I hope that some of you are able to see what I'm doing, and maybe you can apply some of it in your own. You know, maybe not. Maybe you just like to watch this cat paint. You know, because this cat's awesome. I don't know, but but you know, either way, let's keep it cool. Let's keep it fun. And some people like what I do, some people don't, but art is that way, you know. Art is supposed to be, I like you, I don't like you. I like you, I don't like you. And because I really believe that art is one of those things, like it's like freedom of speech, you know. It's it really belongs to it belongs to the people, you know. Whoever does it, however they do it, it's just, you know, it's very personal. So anyways, moving on. Check this out. Check it out, people. Check it out, because I'm in a row with this. I discovered this little painting, this little brush. I don't know if I think I said the story that I was at an art supply place and store, and I heard some people talk about how you have to use the right brush and blah blah blah, you know. And I remember some of my first paintings were done in some of the best paint brushes with the best materials a man could find. And they were super sucky. The materials didn't rescue me, you guys. The materials did not rescue Jose Trujillo from sucking at painting. But you know what? What did I did learn. Very, very quick, I learned that painting is not about that. You know, artwork is not about the materials. It's not about, and you know, I was on a quest of looking for different materials, different tools. What else can I use? What, you know, what makes the tools of the artist? And it wasn't until recently that I gave up, because for the longest time, in my quest to find the right tools, you know, the right tools. You know, I would go from thick brushes, you know, like thick brushes. I don't have one right now, but you know, oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I would go from brushes like this, you know, like and then I would go from those to tiny little brushes like this, where I was like doing that super heavy, laborious impressionism, you know. And I'm talking about that laborious impressionism, that that old impressionist style that some of the artists did. I was also studying that. I also was interested in that. And then I went from little palette knives like this. No, this is big actually. I went from some little ones to like bigger palette knives to like really big palette knives. That I don't think people really sell that for that. It's more for like stucco on walls. So I did it all, right? In search of that thing, of that. What is going to define my artwork? Where is my voice? Where is my style? And those of you who have been following me for a while know that I basically don't have one and don't care about having one. But it wasn't until recently that I've landed into understanding that. I have given up and I've let the gods decide my fate. Because I learned a lot of stuff as I was doing that. I learned a lot of stuff. I learned different techniques. I learned different tools, right? I learned different ways of using those tools, how to use them, how not to use them, for me, right? And I also learned the most important valuable, I think, lesson that I learned is that I could use them. That has been the most important lesson for me. You see, I went throughout my life trying to look for that right tool, that right thing that was going to define me as an artist. You know why? Because we do that as human beings. We see other artists doing it and we say, oh, that's my, I just gotta find mine then, And some artists have that thing, I know some artists who they just use a couple of brushes and that's their thing. That's what they do. And I used to think these artists were blessed, because they especially the it's nowhere written, right? Maybe it is, but artists have this idea, tend to have this idea. I certainly did, that the work has to be consistent and the work has to be, it has to have a voice and it has to symbolize something, and all this to me is a bunch of bullshit, right? And the reason why is because when it's like saying you're going to make a Ferrari, right? But it can only run so many, let's say a Ferrari has never been made, okay? No one has ever made one yet. And we have the idea that, it'd be awesome to make a Ferrari. And then people start putting all this restraints. Not only do people put a governor, right, on the, whatever they put the governor, in order to impede it from running faster than certain, speed. But then they start saying it has to weight this much, and then it has to be this, and then it can only be yellow, or whatever, or whatever color. Maybe I'm mistaking the car. It doesn't matter, but you get my point. And then it can only do this, and it can only do that, and putting all these restrictions on it, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. People, especially the art world, which I think is such a funny little thing when people are like the art world, tend to put so many conditions and restraints on artists. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I hate it so much. And the reason why is not because I don't believe that they should have that it works, right? That it works for some artists, or that some artists have proven certain things, like a staple style or a staple this or that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen and doesn't benefit the voice of the artist or whatever. The reason why I hate it is because for the longest time, it restrained me to believing that I could not move forward. And no one was doing this to me, right? This is the pressure of the ideas that society that we would talk about and that we would read in publications and what is the voice of the artist? Well, shit, man, maybe the artist is barely starting out. Don't give him a pressure of a voice yet, You ever thought about that one? Maybe the artist is new at the game, Why are you putting restrictions on him or her right off the bat? If you paint in oil, you should only use oils. Well, maybe the cat's trying something. I don't know. Let him figure it out. I'm a little crazy. Just a little bit, but enough to say the truth, you guys. Enough to say the truth. This is one of the things that has bothered me the most, and I like to keep my videos. I like to keep them positive, right? I like to keep positive. I like to keep it chill here. But if you want to get me worked up about something, is the conditions that artists put on themselves and put on others in order to be part of the status quo. And some people could be like, well, what are you talking about, man? You're painting derivative work. That's not what I'm talking about. You could paint, paint cows for all you want. Paint roses all day if you want to. But make sure that that's what you want to do. That is what you want to do. Don't do it because the gallery said that all these restrictions that maybe the gallery doesn't even. You probably don't even have gallery representation, and you already have all these restrictions on yourself. I don't know. Well, the galleries don't like that. Well, why don't you wait till you get into a gallery and then figure out, maybe what they're looking at or what they care about, or I'm not trying to bash galleries, you guys. Okay, I'm not doing that. That's not really what I'm doing here at all. What I'm saying is pointing at a truth that it is a fact of life that people put all these conditions very quickly before getting started. It's like those people that go on dating sites. I don't know. I've never done that, but I heard from a friend of a friend. No, I'm just joking. I've heard that people are like when people that have problem dating, and I know this is a touchy subject for some people, but it's because they have so many conditions onto what dating should look like. Maybe not what the person needs to be, but the ideas of what dating should look like, and that's what it's prohibiting him or her, from finding a partner, because maybe they go. Maybe they go into a bar or something, or maybe that's the worst place to start dating, but whatever, anywhere. And then they start thinking about what the ideal date should look like, what the person should act like, and then you close yourself off to reality in life. You close yourself off to reality, and we all do that. I'm not trying to bash either on people who can't find dates. Believe me, people, you will find someone. Just keep at it. This is everyone. This is all human beings, and not maybe some of them reflect that on dating. Others reflects us on other topics in life, on other places. And that reflected me on a lot on my artwork, where I was like, man, the artwork needs to look like this. No, it doesn't. You don't even know what your artwork is supposed to look like. You know what? You don't do it enough. And some of you are like, man, I painted all my life. Maybe you have, but maybe you have these ideas of what things needed to be like. Look at Van Gogh. He painted a lot, and I don't know about the cat that much, but I'm sure that the poor guy was like, man, they don't like my stuff, maybe my stuff is not, or this, I don't know what was going through his mind. His brother was an art dealer, and he still didn't get a show, so, I'm not trying to bash on the poor cat either, but I'm just saying, like, Like that could be many of us, right? The whole things are supposed to look this way or that way, or I'm not going to do an exhibit yet. I heard that so many times, and it hits a chord with me because it's happened to me. That's why it hits a chord. They say, right? It only hurts if you recognize it. At least I heard that saying in Spanish. I don't know in English, but I'm sure there's something similar in English. It can only hurt if you recognize it, right? And that's how I see it. People are like I don't want to do an exhibit yet because my collections, and I'm not trying to discredit some people that maybe they are working on a collection and they really wanted to look a certain way and to have this cohesive look, but most people are not there, and don't kid yourself, most people are not there. Like if you're Kehendi Wiley, and you're like, I'm preparing a commission, I'm preparing an exhibit, and it's gonna look like this and like this, and all this stuff, then all right, I got it, I get it, but most people are not Kehinde. Most people are like they sabotage themselves. Most of us do that to each other, to ourselves, to each other maybe too, but especially to ourselves, and we tell ourselves, I can't do an exhibit yet, and the moment that I hear something like that, I'm always weird, like, what's going on? Why can't you have an exhibit, or why can't you show your work? It's not always an exhibit, okay? Because that's not how I roll most of my time either. So it's not always an exhibit, but some people do say stuff like that. I can't show my work online yet, and it always rings a bell to me. It always like ding 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 ding. What's going on? And usually 9 out of 10, it's my work's not ready yet. And it's like, oh, what is it supposed to look like? Well, and then when you talk to them, there is that 1%, right? There's that 1% that are like super serious, like a Hindi, that are like, no, dude, look, I am working on something legit, right? Not that he told me that. I wish we were friends. If you're watching this, please, dude, be my friend. I love your stuff. But no, it's most of us are like, no, I can't have an exhibit yet because, and then some bullshit, some idea that we carry on, and I know it's a touchy subject, you guys, okay? So I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm just saying, I've been through this one, and you don't have to do that. It's all these limitations that people place on us and that we place on ourselves, and you don't have to go through that. You don't need that. Whether you're a painter or whatever it is that you do, you don't need that. Okay? I just want to make it. I want to be responsible for passing that along. Since everyone's passing along the whole you have to be a certain way. Your work has to look a certain way, the cohesive look, and everybody's always talking about that. And look, I believe in this, okay? I believe in this. There is no such thing as quality, and I know some of you may be like, dude, you're crazy. Whatever. My video. There is no such thing as quality. And quality meaning cohesive look, the way you want it to look like, how it's supposed to look like, how gallery wants it, or how the art world talks about it. There is no such thing as that, unless you go through quantity. Whatever quantity is for you. For me, it's a lot of this. For other people, it's a lot of work in a detailed format. The detailed form, not format. And for a lot of people, it's different stuff. It's just different. It looks different for everyone, It looks different. But I believe that you will not get to quality unless you go through quantity. I truly believe that. And the worst thing that could happen to an artist is start putting stoppers as you're going. saying like, well, if I use oil, I should only use oil. No, try something else. Unless you're cool with oil, right? But make sure that it is something that you want because you want that, not because some idea. And the same thing goes for the other way in birth, right? The same thing goes that way because I know a lot of artists also that are like, I'm just testing, but they spend their whole life just testing and don't stick to something. I'm not talking to you guys, to the guys who are testing, stop testing, jump in. I'm talking to the ones that jumped in, but are walking around like this, restricted. Those are the ones I'm talking to. Anyways, Jose Trujillo, the world's greatest artist, coming to you from the art studio. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's how I do glass. Look, you get close, it's like, what is that? I don't understand. That's what I love about Manet. Manet is one of my best influences to paint glass. Manet, Edouard Manet. Check out his glass. Anyways, I appropriated the way Manet did glass over the years and turned it into my own thing. This is not Manet, this is Jose. Jose Trujillo. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, people. Till next time, stay cool, okay? Stay cool. It's the only way.